Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well. I hope that you had a good and safe Thanksgiving and that everybody stayed healthy since then. And I hope that your Christmas preparations are coming along. I finally decorated this week, and I wonder why I don't put more effort in my house like I do at Christmas. It's so funny. What am I waiting for the rest of the year? But Advent is a time of waiting, isn't it? We're in this season of waiting for Christmas, and it seems even more poignant this year because we've been in a season of waiting for close to 9 months now, right? It seemed like March 13th and everything just sort of paused, and yet at the same time, so much has happened since then. This morning I saw where there's 280,000 people who have died as a result of COVID and COVID complications. It's just staggering to think about it. And I feel like we have this collective inhale that we're waiting to exhale, waiting for the vaccines, waiting for something to happen. And so Advent seems even more meaningful this year as we wait for, once again, the coming of the Christ child. But in reality, we spend most of our lives waiting, right? When you're young, I remember my oldest granddaughter, she couldn't wait to be 5. When she was 3 years old, she couldn't wait to be 5, because when she was 5, the whole world was going to open up to her. Well, now she's 8, and she can't wait to be 9 and 10, and always looking ahead for the next thing. And that's just in our human nature. I think one of the things that this year has taught us probably, and that Advent has the opportunity to teach us, is that we need to figure out what we're waiting for and see what we are supposed to be doing in the waiting. I think with the pandemic, a lot of us have realized that some of the things that we were rushing around and waiting for, they don't really have as much meaning for us as they did before. In this time of having to be selective about where we go and wearing masks and gathering in crowds and many of the big events that people would go to being canceled, we have that opportunity to pause and realize what we're really grateful for. And for most of us, we're grateful for the family that we have around us, or grateful for those phone calls or those Zoom gatherings that we get to participate in. We realize that it's the relationships that we value more than anything. That and toilet paper and a stocked pantry. But we have this opportunity during Advent to ask ourselves, what are we waiting for? And what do we do in the waiting? Jesus came, and the first thing that he said was, the kingdom of God is at hand. So we know that it's not something that we wait for that's in a far, far distant time. Although some people concentrate on that, but I wonder what they're missing in the moment. And John the Baptist, he was about waiting. He understood that he was the precursor, or the one to make the way for Jesus, and that Jesus was really the one. And so John was waiting for the one to come. But the amazing thing about John is that in the waiting time for him, he actually participated in something. He actually promoted a healthy waiting attitude. He made way for God to come and interrupt the world. And I think that we are called to do that too. And so when we ask ourselves, what are we waiting for? Once we identify that, then we ask ourselves that same question. What are we waiting for? When I talk about decorating my house at Christmas and wondering why I don't put that much effort in it the rest of the year, I have to ask myself, well, what am I waiting for? Am I just waiting for Christmas to be the excuse to care? Are we just waiting for the end of the pandemic before we can reach out to others? Are we just waiting for some outside thing to happen for our lives to be okay? When actually, From the moment of creation, God gave us everything we need to be who we are right now, even as we wait. So, my question for you this week and my encouragement for you this week is, what are you waiting for? What are those things that matter to you that you're leaning into? And what are you waiting for to begin to make them happen, to be grateful for them, to move forward in your path? What are you waiting for? God bless you, and go in peace.